You've probably seen this video on your feed. It shows a Milpitas restaurant employee throwing frozen ribs onto the ground.
In the United States, I think we are on the path to not having restaurants in 5 years.
Why do so many restaurants have hidden fees nowadays? You go to a restaurant, the burger is $16 because they hate you.
Okay, so today we're going to be taking a look at restaurants and why so many have been hurting and empty recently. There are a ton of different problems that I've seen. The quality of the food going down while the prices are going up, including the hidden fees that you don't know about until you get the bill. We got bad customer service, the tipping culture overall. I mean, it just doesn't seem worth it to me now. We also have some comments from you guys from previous videos with your experiences. So if you want to be featured on a future video, leave in the comments down below. But let's start off with a pretty crazy story that's been hitting the headlines.
You've probably seen this video on your feed. It shows a Milpitas restaurant employee throwing frozen ribs onto the ground. This is outside of Fa Love on North Milpitas Boulevard. Someone standing on the rooftop shot the video and posted it on social media. It went viral instantly and raised some serious questions about the restaurant.
It was very disturbing. Yes. And they call it love. You call it faux love? I said no.
On Thursday, Santa Clara County health inspectors shut down the place, citing both sanitation issues and insect or rodent concerns. The restaurant owner said the employee involved needed to be held accountable for what he said is an isolated incident. The owner also said he takes full responsibility for what happened.
So that's a real interesting way for your restaurant to be empty, it getting shut down. And I mean, you're caught red-handed with video evidence, and to add on top of it, they were infested by rodents. Oh man. We'll go right over to the comments because it's pretty interesting. Just rinse it. It gets cooked for hours in broth anyway. The number of people justifying spiking meat on the parking lot ground is crazy. There were other comments like this: I promise everywhere breaks health codes. Yeah, but this is an extreme example. Don't downplay it. An isolated incident? No. You don't just decide to do something like this out of nowhere. Another comment right after that: let's be honest, this isn't an isolated incident. This is the norm. I don't know how you guys are downplaying this. It's literally on the ground outside. Trying to defend this restaurant along with all the rest of the stuff we're going to see in this video is pretty nuts to me. But I asked you guys in an older video, do you still go out to eat at restaurants often? And there were a lot of answers. Only as a treat with my girlfriend. Otherwise, we go shopping together and cook at home. Honestly, very rarely, maybe 4 times a year now. Not a chance. No, I can't afford to go out to eat anymore. I cook and eat at home. No, maybe once or twice a year now. We haven't been out for a meal since May. We took some people to help us move to Culver's. It was almost $100 for 4 people at Culver's. Not often. It's way too expensive now. All I could think about is, wow, I could have gotten so many groceries for this money. Only about once a month. I feel like anything more than that, except for special occasions, is not a smart financial decision in this economy. Only once in a while, somebody just straight up said no. I only go out to eat once or twice a month. I used to go out way more, but it's too expensive and the quality isn't great now. Just from this one question alone, I had 650 replies similar to what I read you. It's really not looking good right now.
In the United States, I think we are on the path to not having restaurants in 5 years. It sounds ridiculous, it sounds crazy, but hear me out. All of these places are not making money. Nobody is going. There is no lines out the doors, okay? Unless it is right downtown on the middle of Main Street. If you are not in that prime area, your restaurant's dead. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. And it's absolutely crazy. I don't know how it's going to get better. I don't know how waitstaff, bartenders, I don't know how they're making any money, especially with the cost of living going up, how they're even surviving, how they can afford to live in the cities. And if your waitstaff can't afford to live in the cities and they have to be farther and farther out, there's going to be a point where they stop making that commute. And from a consumer standpoint, I get it. Inflation, tip inflation, all of it. It is just conspiring against the whole thing of going out to restaurants or bars. And these third spaces that we have, which are places that we can hang out, communicate and talk with other humans, listen to live music, all that great stuff, they're going to go away.
And I agree with what he says. Unless you're in a thriving area currently, it's pretty tough out there for a restaurant. You could add in the bars as well. I don't think all restaurants are going to disappear within 5 years, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see even more chains closing up shop on top of the mom and pop restaurants as well. And one of the main reasons is right here, a comment from you guys. I'm so tired of everything going up in price, but down in quality. And as a result, we see a ton of videos like this on social media. It's 6 p.m. peak dinner time in this economy with an empty empty restaurant. Now, funny enough, seeing the background in this clip is a TGI Fridays. Just keep that chain in mind for a little bit later in the video, when the slow season has been going on for way too long, and Thursdays used to be the busiest days, just with a completely vacant restaurant. And as you could see with the creator turning off the comments, you could probably guess what the reaction was. Basically everything we're seeing in this video. The price is going up, quality going down, people can't afford it and won't go in this economy. Now, I have talked about this before, but I am still seeing it a lot. It's kind of pity marketing on social media, especially TikTok. My dad's restaurant is empty, trying to guilt people into going into the restaurants. I mean, on one hand, I get it. You need as much money as humanly possible coming in just to keep the business afloat. But if making people feel bad on social media is your main source of marketing, that's only going to last for a finite amount of time, and then you're back at square one. We have another comment from you guys here. The generation that's drowning in student debt, can't find a job, and will never own a house isn't spending money they don't have taking the family they never started out to a restaurant. They make a very good point and paints a bleak picture of what's to come in the future, along with more examples like this popping up, getting hit with hidden fees, more charges. Why would anybody want to go out anymore?
Why do so many restaurants have hidden fees nowadays? You go to a restaurant, the burger is $16 because they hate you. Fries are not included. And then you get the bill, and then not only is there tax, there's also a credit card surcharge fee, a service fee, but don't worry, you're still expected to tip on top of the service fee. And by the way, you probably went up and ordered from a screen yourself. You probably didn't even talk to a human being, because why would you be expected to talk to the person giving you service?
I mean, she's got a really good point. Can't argue with that. I've had dedicated videos a few times on this channel just talking about tipping culture and how common it's becoming to just use an iPad for these orders. And they still want you to tip 20%. That's insane. I really can't blame people at this point when they start making videos like this.
Am I the only one who thinks going to a sit-down restaurant isn't even worth it anymore? For two people with tip and tax, you're spending a bare minimum $50. If you get appetizers and drinks, that could easily be $80 to $100. Now, we go out for food like once or twice a week, and unless it's a celebration or we're going out with friends or family, we're just getting takeout. It's Chipotle, it's bibimbap, it's kava, right? That's it. It just makes no sense to spend $50 on a mid-tier sit-down meal when we can spend $17 and eat at home.
Now, I put this video in for a couple of reasons. I do agree overall with what he says with sit-down restaurants, but this video was uploaded 2 years ago. And I don't think I have to tell you that fast food is not really worth it anymore either. I bet that $17 will be way more expensive in 2026. Now, the comments were interesting. It was almost people trying to one-up how much they were spending at restaurants. $50, where do you live? I'll take $50 every day of the week. You mean $150? I'm sorry you think $50 is a lot of money. The average is $200 to $300 every time I take out my family. All right, another $50. I'd go out every night if it was only $50. But here's another one, and the food's not even that good. It tastes like it was done in a microwave. Chipotle is $25 to $30 for two people now. I was at Wendy's, ordered 2 small combos, and it was $27. I'm never going out to eat again. On top of more clips like this, getting hit with extra charges even with the fast food joints.
So you're telling me that these fast food restaurant chains are increasing their prices. On top of that, now they want you to pay for a sauce?
Increasing prices while decreasing their sizes. This is all happening while we're constantly getting bombarded with ads everywhere we go, honestly misleading the customers. We could see a clip that's up on screen right now, how burgers are made for commercials, making everything look absolutely perfect for the photo op or the video. And it's widely known that if you go to that fast food place or the restaurant, it's not going to look nearly as good as what you were advertised. You really can't win in today's world anywhere you go. And to add on, talking about fast food, we have another comment from you guys. I'm old enough to remember Subway's $5 footlongs. Now they're $10, $15. I remember seeing a clip that somebody paid $20 for one. And speaking of absolutely outrageous prices, we got to take a look at this extreme example.
I was in the Times Square Applebee's tonight, don't ask why, but it's important to me that you know that my meal was $93.36. Now that's 2 people, shared an entree, no dessert, no alcohol. There's something profoundly broken about our society. Now, if you need a burger wrapped in a quesadilla, Applebee's is very much still your best bet. There was also a number of other peculiar things happening at the Times Square Applebee's this evening, but I think that's a separate video entirely.
$93 for a frozen factory-made cafeteria food bought from Cisco. That is a good portion of all restaurants in today's world. And of course, I know that he's clearly in one of the most expensive areas to buy anything. You're in Times Square. That's mistake number one. $20.49 for spinach dip, $18 for mozzarella sticks is wild. It's just all getting to be way too much. And especially if you do start cooking from home. If you're on YouTube a lot, there's an unlimited amount of cooking videos. And once you start getting the hang of it, making some pretty solid meals, most restaurants don't stack up to what you could do yourself.
I'm not a chef, I'm not an expert, but I'm just at the point with my cooking that every time I go to a restaurant, it is so underwhelming. The food just doesn't do it for me. For example, last night I got a fried chicken sandwich at a restaurant. I went out to eat and it just wasn't good. It was not done in a way that I think it would have made it better. It was not crunchy. The wrong type of bun was used. Onion rings were the side. I don't really care for onion rings. I mean, maybe other people think that's right, but it should be fries. No coleslaw. I think coleslaw is something that needs to go with a fried chicken sandwich for sure. And, you know, that's it. Like, just anything I could make at home is so much better than anything I get out, and it costs less, and it's fun because you get to learn how to make it and see what goes into it, and you feel a lot of pride with knowing that that's something that you made yourself. I'm not impressed with restaurants ever since I learned how to cook. They just don't do it for me.
We'll go right over to the comments. There are no restaurants anymore. There are Cisco microwave items. I went out for my anniversary last night. First time I've been out to a sit-down restaurant in quite some time. Now, this high-end steakhouse, at least in our area, we wanted to splurge a bit, so I didn't expect to spend around $70 or even $120. I knew it would be more, but the service was awful and the food was okay. Nearly $300 later. This really isn't a sustainable business model anymore. I've been to one of those expensive steakhouses once in my life where I had something that I can't even remember what it was called, but it was $100. And yes, it was obviously pretty good, but not for that price, at least in my opinion. And if that's the barrier to entry for a pretty solid place to eat now, I'm definitely just going to eat at home. Cisco foods have absolutely ruined the restaurant industry. All the food tastes the same no matter where you go. And that's basically the rest of the comments. Going out to eat is just the battle of who could cook Cisco foods better. It all tastes bland and oily. No, thank you. This isn't just the comment sections from the TikToks as well. We have a lot from you guys. I worked at an overpriced coffee shop for 3 months who claimed that everything was organic and local as well, but everything came from Cisco, Costco, and Walmart. I ate at a restaurant once and pointed out to my wife the dessert cart had pastries we recognized from Costco. Again, I remember a barbecue place in Texas. The owner admitted to me that he got his pecan pie from the Sam's Club. For years, I thought the pecan pie was homemade. I could honestly just read these examples out to you for the entire rest of the video, but we're going to move on to even more insane charges on top of the overpriced food.
Some businesses are getting pretty sneaky about adding these extra fees and charges to the end of your bill. So people are sharing some bizarre charges they found on their receipts on this mildly infuriating Reddit page. Like this person who got a 10% employee health charge at the end of their bill. That came to $13.70. And that's not even tip. There's a suggested tip at the bottom that starts at 18%. The user wrote, just raise the prices on the menu. I don't want to have surprise increases at the end of the meal. Also, what is a crusty avocado and why is it $8? This person was charged a 50-cent credit card fee even though they paid cash. Charging a credit card fee isn't illegal in Virginia, but I bet when you're paying cash it is. This person was charged a mandatory 20% service charge, where a large portion goes to the team. Excuse me, sir, can you tell me where the rest of my money is going?
Yep, it's time to eat at home now. We're already paying for restaurants' employees' wages. Now they're going to start passing their healthcare costs to us too, I guess so. Even if you don't go into their restaurant to sit down and eat, you'll still get hit with extra charges with takeout.
Like, do I need to bring my own container now when I get a takeout order? I gotta bring my own bag, my own container, and make sure that it's not hidden in the bill, because this is what happened. Costs of things are getting out of control. Aside from everybody needing a tip, now during takeout, this woman wanted to charge me $1 for the takeout container. So she's showing me the bill, and I'm like, what is that $1 for? Oh, that's for the takeout container, the bag, and the silverware. I said, I don't want that. I said, I want the sandwich, and I want it maybe wrapped in foil. Like, before you gave that to me without charging me $1, and if you're gonna charge me for it, put it in the price. I don't want to see it, because if I see it, I'm gonna lose my shit.
We went to eat recently and their menu states that they only allow 1 free refill on soft drinks, and their cups were half the size of most restaurants and filled with almost completely ice. The added in service fees, I'd lose my mind if I got charged for a to-go bag. I've noticed in more than one place in the last month paying with a credit card will be charged an extra 3%. When did this become normal to push onto customers? That's basically what's happening no matter what. Here's a great example of that.
Our restaurant bill had a 4% charge for health insurance or staff wellness. And I've been seeing this on the receipts of restaurants all over San Diego. They're allowed to put it on there, but you can't be forced to pay it. If you ask them to take it off, they have to remove it. I've also seen some places put a $2 water donation fee if you drink water. There's a new California law, SB 478, that's supposed to go into effect July 1st, that's supposed to block these junk fees. Basically saying they're not allowed to advertise a lower fee and then tack off junk fees that you didn't know or expect, except for government taxes and government fees. So to me, that sounds like they're going to have to embed it into the price of food, and they won't be able to put these health care wellness 4% surcharges on our bills anymore.
So even with the law coming into effect, she knows that they're just going to work it around and put it into the price of the food, adding to the fact that everything is just wildly overpriced. 4% on each check is crazy. I'll be paying the 4% fee, but then I'm not tipping. 22% service fee at a downtown LA restaurant. I asked the waiter if he could remove it, and he said no because the owner had a sign at the check-in desk. We felt ripped off. Wow. We got another example right here from you guys. The prices are insane. A new Cajun place just opened up near us and we decided to try it. Thank God we looked at the menu before ordering drinks. 1 turkey leg with a scoop of macaroni and cheese was $39.99. Kids meal varied in prices, grilled cheeses, mac and cheese being the cheapest at $16. Other kids meals were over $20. Every appetizer was also over $20. We walked out. And I mentioned it briefly at the beginning of the video, bad customer service is becoming more common. We have another example right here of somebody else walking out.
So we're walking out of Outback, not being served. Look at that. I am one of those customers. But we don't complain. We just got up and left. We sat for 15 minutes, not busy. Nobody came to us. Nobody said hi. Nobody approached us. Nobody even looked at us. The amount of staff that walked past us and just ignored us was incredible. More hostesses on the floor than there were servers. 2 managers over in the corner of the bar just talking to each other. So we gave 15 minutes and we left.
And I mean, he recorded inside. It was not busy at all. And they still decided to just ignore them. What else could I say? They're basically shooting themselves in the foot. It also does not help when I start seeing more videos like this. We've gone over it before with servers showing how much they make at their restaurants, and it was a solid amount of money. In my opinion, something you should probably keep quiet, especially in this economy, this climate. But then we also have videos like this of somebody going on a rant. If you don't have money to tip, don't go out to eat. And she went over a story where she had a large party, try not to tip her at all, which obviously does suck, but going online saying that if you don't have money, don't go out to eat is basically just starting a fight with people for no reason. The description isn't much better. Before you get another job then, me, how about eat at home then? Let me break it down for you. Tipping is optional. You get paid hourly. At the end of the day, it's not the customer's fault that you get paid such a low hourly wage. That's the owners of the business screwing you over. And instead of picking a fight with those owners, your bosses, you pick it with the customers. To me, that's not the best choice. Ma'am, that's your job. I'm not tipping anyone who feels entitled to it. Tipping is optional. You said it yourself. Tipping is not mandatory. Every time I see these videos, it makes me want to leave no tip. Exactly what I was talking about. There's over 21,000 comments on this video alone, basically saying the same thing over and over. We even have a comment from you guys that's similar. They mocked customers, forced tipping, terrible food, and the prices went up for no real reason. And they wonder why no one goes out anymore. Now, I'm not trying to make it like all servers, waiters, waitresses are bad. Like I said, they're getting screwed over by their bosses, the owners, with absolutely terrible hourly wages, just banking on tips to be able to keep them afloat.
You guys want some tea? I work at a restaurant and all the servers just found out that credit card processing fees will now be taken out of our tips. And on top of that just being kind of morally, ethically, business practice wise. It is in fact legal. Don't worry, we looked it up. But the restaurant I work at also doesn't take cash. So the credit card fees are not a cost of earning the tips like the owner explained it was. It's actually the cost of working at this restaurant.
Just little ways people find to squeeze tighter and tighter every single dime out of you. This doesn't feel legal, go to the state, call your reps. The creator responds, I wish it wasn't, but it is. There's an act pending in Illinois, but it was delayed until July 2026. We could even take it a step further. We're currently seeing more cost-cutting measures. New York City restaurants are now hiring cashiers from the Philippines who work from Zoom for $3.75 per hour. They are legitimately outsourcing cashiers now. It's only a matter of time until you have small AI robots serving us food. Everything just keeps getting worse and worse.
You're going out for a simple slice of pizza or a bite to eat, you will be taxed more on the bill for it here in Virginia Beach than if you were to do the same in Times Square or downtown San Francisco. Now, people in the restaurant business here near the ocean front tell me it's hurting their customers and their bottom line, and they say enough is enough.
Their food taxes, their meals taxes are lower than ours. New York City, LA, Las Vegas, Miami, I can't believe that.
A raise from 5.5% to 6% on the meal tax back in summer, combined with the 6% general sales tax, means people in Virginia Beach now pay a 12% total tax on their bill at restaurants as well as prepared food at grocery stores. Virginia Beach Restaurant Association President Debbie Lou Haig says customers are now choosing to spend less.
Just an FYI, Norfolk is 12.5%, Newport is 13.5%, Chesapeake 12%, Portsmouth 13.5%. All of them from this comment is just absolutely ridiculous. And the one right after it, get paid tax, own a car tax, buy groceries tax, clothes, household necessities, eating out, take care of yourself or your children outside of fun time tax, buy a house tax, sell a house tax. You get the gist. We are legitimately being nickeled and dimed with everything we do. Virginia is the greediest state I've ever lived in. There's nothing that the state won't tax. I'm surprised that they're competing with the big cities, New York, LA, Miami. Does not seem like a place that I'd go then. But we're gonna bring back talking about TGI Fridays. We have an example here showing how much these big corporations are just completely out of touch with reality.
TGI Fridays just fumbled the bag so spectacularly that even though the year is coming to a close, this may be one of the biggest PR blunders of 2025. So Brittany Bell is a server at the TGI Fridays in the Atlanta airport, and she recently went viral with a video of her consoling a small child who had a bit of a meltdown in her restaurant. The social media team at TGI Fridays took notice and said they were proud of Brittany and they were coming to her restaurant to acknowledge her. What did TGI Fridays do? Well, they flew a couple of executives out to Atlanta, sent them to Brittany's restaurant, gathered a crowd, had someone film as they made a big to-do, thanking Brittany and presenting her with this gigantic gift that she unwrapped, which turned out to be a giant novelty check worth $500. Now, no one wants to look a gift horse in the mouth, but $500 is an amount of money that you send an email about or a letter in the mail. It is not worthy of a giant novelty check. It's certainly less than what they spent to send those executives to Atlanta. The funny thing is here is that TGI Fridays almost struck PR gold. They almost did everything right. They had the makings of a viral hit. It's like they were slow pitched a softball, underhanded, square over home plate, and they whiffed so hard they knocked off the umpire's hat.
Now, on one hand, I do understand $500 at the end of the day is still a good amount of money, but he made a very good point. Flying out the executives, probably first class to Atlanta, bringing in all the people for the good PR, making a giant check, probably cost way more than the $500 they gave her. It's honestly a perfect example showing how out of touch with reality they really are. Some of the comments, TGI Fridays also turned off all of their comments on social media. I'm not gonna lie, I thought TGI Fridays went out of business like 5 years ago. I actually thought the exact same thing. They spent thousands to send executives there. Don't be shy, that's what I thought too. And with everything we've gone over today, it really does boil down to a comment from you guys. Prices have doubled while food portions got smaller. Low quality ingredients, bad service, and demand for tips. Along with the economy not looking like it's getting better anytime soon, it seems like we're on a path where a lot of these restaurants will close shop. So that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later.